Lesson, we're going to cover 5 places to meet high quality men organically. Yes, organically, without using any apps, any screens, any devices whatsoever. So let's dive right in. Now, one of the top locations that I love for meeting men organically are salsa classes. Most men go to salsa classes to meet women, so please oblige them and save us all from having our feet stamped on. And I've also found that, the men who come to salsa classes tend to be quite serious about 2 things. Number one, they're quite serious about having a serious relationship. They're serious guys. They like structure. They like having an instruction from a professional. And they know that salsa is, by definition, a dance with a partner. So they know that there are going to be women there who also love to dance. They want to learn a new skill. These are growth minded individuals. They have a growth mindset. They want to learn something new, even if it's quite far outside their comfort zone. And they are quite happy to spend their free time in learning a new skill and meeting new people. So salsa classes are a great opportunity to meet husband material men. It very often attracts engineers and men who like structure and thrive in a structured environment such as salsa classes. Now, salsa classes tend to be in the evenings, but I've also seen salsa classes happen during the afternoon, on weekends, and sometimes during the day, during the week. So you want to ask yourself, does this event sound like a hell yes for me? And remember, you don't have to like dancing because most people at salsa classes do not know how to dance. They're there to learn. So maybe it's a yes or a maybe for you. And then you want to indicate which timings might work for you. And then go online, do a Google search for salsa classes in your city and write down any potential locations where you could go to learn salsa. Now, you're going to learn salsa, you're not going to meet men, but the byproduct of going to salsa classes is meeting single husband material men. The second location is outdoor sports boot camps. Now, this is a great place to go if you simultaneously want to get fit and meet new people. A lot of women think, I'm going to meet someone at the gym, except men, when they go to the gym, are not there to meet people, they're there to work out. The difference with outdoor sports boot camps is that since it's outdoors, something about being outside puts people in a different mindset, they're in a different vibe, and they're much more open to talking to you and creating new friendships or relationships. This is a great option if you want to get fit, if you feel like, oh, I'd love to lose a couple kilos, or I just want to have a different activity in my day. And if you do it in the morning, you have a great chance of having much more energy and better focus throughout your workday. So, fun side story is that I actually met someone who I had a long-term serious relationship with at an outdoor sports boot camp. And the only reason I went to that boot camp is because my gym was closed. So after 10 years of going to the gym, I went to like one outdoor sports boot camp and immediately found a boyfriend. It was extremely effective. Remember, you don't need to like sports to do these because they're usually about 45 minutes to an hour. It's really not very long. And you just need to go a few times to meet people. So you can even go as a trial. Now, these boot camps, they tend to be early in the morning before work. So between the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. At lunchtime, so between 12 and 2 p.m. And in the evenings, generally starting at 6 or 7 p.m., or maybe if you're in a country where the workday ends very early at like 5 p.m., some boot camps might start at 5 or 5:30 p.m. And it's an event that you can find on Facebook events. You can use meetup.com, or you can just do a Google search for outdoor sports boot camps in your city. And yes, I recommend you use the word boot camp. Number 3, tennis clubs. Oh, one of the most underrated places to meet people. Remember, the world's most famous tennis athletes tend to be guys. Of course, there are famous women's athletes, and we're not going to get into a political discussion about women's sports and the funding for it and the attendance of women's sporting events. We're just here to talk about how to meet husband material men. Now, tennis clubs are great because they attract a broad range of people, all of whom love to be outside, they love to play tennis, they love to wear short shorts, and you can get a really good view of their legs, their physique, their faces, you can watch them sweating. But tennis is not what I would consider an extremely intense sport. Most people play tennis because it's a nice opportunity to be outside, to move, to hang out with a friend. And the more you attend an expensive tennis club, a place that has a membership that costs above 50 to $100 at a minimum, has a lounge or a cafeteria, it has showers. This means that the tennis club will have spaces inside it where you can actually talk to people. I'm not talking about paying, $10 or $15 to rent the court for an hour. I'm talking about joining an actual tennis club with a membership. They might even have drinks and other events that are specifically for the members to meet each other. Now, you can literally play tennis all hours of the day. Some people love to play in the morning before work. When I was younger, I used to go to tennis classes at 7 a.m. in the morning. The courts were pretty empty because when I was growing up in Mumbai, not a lot of people were playing tennis at 7 a.m. in the morning, but maybe now that's changed. So you want to look up the right time of day to play tennis in your city. If you're living in a country where the sun sets and rises really early or late in the winter, lunchtime might be a better option. And then if you're at a tennis club with a shower, that's a great place to prolong the time that you spend there before going back to work. So even if you don't know how to play tennis, I would recommend trying a tennis club just for a month. You can take a trial membership just to see if it's the kind of place where you like the kinds of people who are members there and you would want to spend more time around them, with the possibility of starting conversations and exploring your chemistry and compatibility together. This is something you can very easily find on Google. It's not going to be featured on Facebook events, meetup.com, or Eventbrite. It is mainly going to be on Google, and you want to just go to Google Maps and type in tennis clubs. Number 4, Selena Co-workings. Now, Selena is a private company with a massive international network of co-working spaces that also includes activities for members. I have personally had the experience of working in the Selena, meeting a guy who matched 100% of my criteria, then going to a Selena drinks event. They had like end of the week, Friday evening drinks. And then he asked me out to dinner, and then he took me to dinner at a Thai food restaurant. So it works. I have personally tried it, and you do not need any qualifiers to go work at a Selena except having a job. You don't even need a job. I think you can even go sit there and just play around on your computer and observe the men who come there. Now, Selena is more on the expensive side for co-working spaces. It's definitely slightly more high-end. It's not a budget hostel by any means, so it tends to attract people who have good salaries. Most of the men, when I was at Selena co-working, had high 5-figure or 6-figure salaries. So you know that you're definitely getting stable, educated professionals who are coming there. Selenas are all over the world. There are many in the US and throughout Western Europe. And now Selena is expanding all over the world. They have many co-workings in places that have surf. So you can go to Selena either temporarily for a couple of days, for a week, or you can spend time in one location for a month, or they have an option where you can take a Selena membership for 3 months and go spend time in different Selenas. I think you can go to 3 different Selenas. Now, I am not sponsored to say this. I'm just a huge fan because they have really high quality services. Their co-workings are genuinely beautiful places. They attract ambitious professionals, lots of guys, and most people who are coming to Selena are single. There are some couples, but it's not the majority by any means. So it's a fantastic place to meet husband material men organically, and they have lots of events at each Selena to facilitate you meeting new people when you go there for co-working. So I wouldn't even think about trying this. I would just do it. You can go to selena.com, select the co-working that appeals most to you based on the weather, the kinds of activities they feature, and then based on your work schedule, see what kinds of events. Now, most Selenas have events that are in the evenings, during lunchtime, and they also have yoga classes early in the morning between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. So you want to try out the times that you are free that work for you and pick those times to meet people who are also available at the events specifically organized by the Selena co-working at which you are co-working. And finally, meet the author events. Now, I don't know about you, I love books. I meet them, I eat them. So even if you don't love books or literature, you might be interested in meeting a guy who loves books. People who love books tend to be serious, they tend to be literary minded, they tend also to be intellectually curious. And bonus points, you will also meet one of your favorite authors if you attend a Meet the Author event. Now, caveat, you do not need to actually have read the book. Most of the Meet the Book or Meet the Author events I've attended, I haven't read the book. I didn't even buy the book because I was moving and I didn't want to have one more thing to add to my moving. But this is a great opportunity to meet people who share your interests. Very often they might share your lifestyle because authors tend to attract people who are fans of a particular kind of lifestyle, and they are definitely going to share your mindset, which is what the author represents. You can find Meet the Author events featured on Facebook events, on Eventbrite. You can also follow the specific author on social media and find out when they are going to be at a certain bookstore in your city. I followed some authors who are consistently at specific bookstores or libraries in my city, and then every time they have an event, I just immediately go to it. Some authors do tons of book tours, some don't, they just do a few events. Either way, you're going to meet like minded people. You want to be really clear about the kinds of people who are going to attend that specific author's event by going to the author's social media and looking up who is following them. What are the kind of people who are leaving comments? I follow one author. The majority of her followers are wealthy women in their 40s. So, again, not a good option to meet husband material men. But if you're following an author like Tim Ferriss, Ramit Sethi, these are people who consistently publish books every few years, and most of their followers are men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and early 50s. So, generally speaking, millennials. Great options for where to meet men who love to travel, who are ambitious, educated professionals, and who also have a deep desire to expand their personal and professional network. Meet the author events tend to be on evenings and weekends. In my experience, they have been mainly on weekdays to get a commuter crowd. However, you can look up which events are hosted in your city and see which events correspond to your schedule, whether or not you actually like to read. Remember, it's not just for readers. We are here to meet people. We are not here to read more books. Although I personally love reading more books at all times. And that's it for 5 places to meet high quality men. If you're an independent woman and you're feeling a little stuck right now and you want to find a way to meet husband material men organically and you're looking for help on how to do that, go to m.me/hello.malaika.neri and send me a DM with the word match, and I might have something for you so you can start meeting and dating more husband material men organically in your city without using any dating apps whatsoever.